I have, neglected one vital detail in starting the stream. I am not on it. Currently a simple black box. Not that I can move during art streams anyways. Good to have an item. Well then, begins my foolhardy journey. I'm trying to create all, 23 of the major arcana tarot cards. I expect to be done in a couple of months, maybe, depending on how well I'm able to do this. There we are. Alright, and then I can actually get started properly. I think I should be fine with my normal canvas size. I can cut it down to shape once I'm done. So, first off, I'll be depicting myself as the Fool. Let me retrieve my reference. This is all of the tarot cards. Number 1. Oh, or number 0, rather. Tarot cards are depicted in a number of ways, but this was the style that I decided to go with. They're a bit smaller than I thought it would be. Now on to find a reference image for myself. Store those elsewhere. Now, I officially don't have a body below the thigh. However, I do have a canonical description of what lies below, which is more sweatpants and slippers. It's only been depicted once before on art that I commissioned from Noemi for my schedule image. But first thing to do, I'm going to want the boundaries for the tarot card. See, how does one create straight lines? I know shift is what makes a line straight in the first place. I don't remember how to snap it to grid. Suppose I'll just align it so that I no longer see pixels or pixel breaks in a straight line. It's clearly the most efficient way. There's probably some tool in CSP for creating shapes. I don't know how to find it. I'm just going to... Now here's where I run into a problem. I suppose if I just make it longer, I can erase the excess. Now to measure up pixel perfect, place a dot, make a line. While I'm still working with the mouse, get in for some exact tracing. There we go. Alright. So, I can start. Okay, everything's working. Drawings are 1-to-1 right? So, let me blow up the image of the Fool. just create a new layer so that the border can remain separate. I will be copying the pose fairly closely. I don't think there's too much necessary deviation. I'm not creating original art, and the poses that the characters of the tarot cards are in is fairly specific. Accidentally rested on some buttons. For instance, I believe it is, yes. The Hanged Man, which is number 12, is in the shape of a 4, or an upside down 4. That's because he was hanged by the Emperor. It's little bits of odd lore hidden in the card, so their poses are specific signifiers, I suppose. I'm not quite certain what they all are. That's one of the few that I do actually know. Oh. Let's see, is pressure sensitivity working? It sure is. Then. So, suppose I'll talk about what each tarot means. The Fool, I believe this is also fairly relevant to what I'm doing right now, but the Fool also signifies the beginning of a journey. Is what is happening as I create this artwork. Get the full head in. I'll start doing detailing here. I don't know if this is necessarily true. I have no formal art training, but I know the face guidelines like this. This line is apparently supposed to be the line that the eyebrows rest on, rather than the eyes. His head is fairly lopsided, it feels. Feel as if I'm about to sneeze soon. I'll try and hold that back for everyone's sake. I don't think these guiding lines are actually helping me at all. This head is fairly profile. Been so long since I've actually drawn, I've forgotten what my button shortcuts are. The only ones that I specifically have to remember is switching between eraser and brush. Those are the two that I forget the most often. So, here will be around here, I suppose. Fine. Goes back, curves around the head. Neck craning upwards. See, the original Fool has a bit of a advantage on me in that he has long hair that covers the back of the neck. My hair is fairly closely sculpted to my head. Fortunately, many of the drawings for the tarot cards are flat, aren't very dynamic, so it's all very much straightforward, looking at perspective or half perspective. I have to censor the star. It's all fairly flat, which is good because I'm not very good at art. Probably the most difficult one is the Fool. So, I have... Well, at least I'm only depicting myself as the Fool and I'm not messing up anyone else. Because it's not even a perfect side view either. It is just at a slight skew. But it's at enough of a perspective that you don't actually see the other eye. It's hidden behind the curvature of the head. I'm not going to put too much detail into the eye, I'm just going to put it in here. I suppose my horn will actually be visible from the other side. I'm going to have to figure out how to work that in with perspective. As for... This is just a rough sketch. I should probably also work on my layer management right now. Alright. Let's cut that to its own layer. Let's cut that. Huh? Ah, I see. Sense. I can cut this to its own layer. And become the frame layer. Enough. Let's see. Okay. It'll become the sketch layer. I messed up my capitalization, but that's fine. It's practically hidden behind my head, not like anyone could see it. I think I've actually started too large. No way that can actually fit properly inside the bound. Yeah. And so far I've only had one other person express interest in this, which is Aquapunk. They did not give a specific card that they wanted to be. So I was considering... Ah, yes. That's what I said. Hello, Aqua. Welcome. Yes, so I was going to talk about the card that I planned on giving you. Let me know if you object or want something else if you've looked into it, but I was considering giving you Temperance. If you are aware of what that is. I can read out the description of it. I looked it up earlier. You're not. Okay, so... The key components, I don't know how aware anyone watching is of tarot readings, but they have a meaning depending on whether or not they are upright or reversed, whether they are dealt facing right side up or upside down. When they are upright, they represent balance, moderation, patience, and purpose. And when reversed, they represent imbalance, excess, self-healing, and realignment. Do you have any objection to that? Go ahead and voice it now. I'll actually... Let's pull up Temperance. Where is it? There we are. So this is the general appearance and whatever the look of Temperance. And its description is, Temperance card shows a large winged angel who is both masculine and feminine. They wear light blue robes with a triangle enclosed in a square on the front, representing that humans, the triangle, are bound by the earth and natural law, square. So, you are a demon, but you will be representing an angel. Alright, well then. I'm glad you enjoy that. I will... Oh, hello, G-Suck. Yes, I am. I am drawing myself as the fool. Both because I am a fool for attempting this, and also because the fool represents the beginning of a journey. Which is what is happening right now. This is one of the roughest sketches I've ever done. This barely resembles a head. I still have plenty of positions open, GSOC. If you wanted to apply for any of them, you may go ahead. I don't believe Big Chungus is a Vtuber. Show me Big Chungus tuber and I'll turn them into a tarot card. Oh, as long as they have a open, what is it? Open policy for fan art. I was seeing that going around recently where certain people were specifically saying that they don't mind if you draw fan art of their character or anything like that. I suppose is good. Nice and cares for his rabbit brethren. Well, maybe if you redeem the points, I'll do a Big Chungus sketch at some point. Also, Aqua, you redeemed your sketch last stream. This won't count for it, obviously. But feel free to send me a DM if you have any specific directions. I probably won't be doing it this stream. High likelihood that I do it next art stream, though. I'm aware of who Big Chungus is. I'm not that internet illiterate. Don't worry. Also, Large Janice, I don't believe I've seen you around. And welcome to the stream, I suppose. Better late to greet than never. Goodbye, Fortnite Big Chungus. Well, I hope you enjoyed the 5 minutes you spent here. Onward to greater pastures, I suppose. I think the phrase is actually greener pastures, but I am already fairly green, so must be very difficult competition in that area. I'm just going to make the hand a mitten for now because I don't want to draw fingers. Very curved. This fool has a very narrow waist. That. Very slim. Suppose I'll try to emulate that. Suit jackets do tend to be fairly constricting. The fool is certainly difficult. Just going to go back to no, because it's the posture is the side, so if I were to follow this, waist is here. That's where the legs are. So this is a very strong twist that's going on. Very difficult to tell behind the lines of the clothing what's actually happening. I suppose the loose clothing helps disguise the body lines here. Is it possible to stand like that? The fool's spine must be broken. Yeah. Because if I draw the center line of the torso, it should come down like that, but then it turns and is on the back side of the body there? Because there's the leg. And it's facing around. The proportions are very confusing here. Perhaps I'm just reading this pose wrong, but I think his spine's broken. Yes, that's what I was saying. If this is the front leg, this. Actually, wait. That leg goes back like that. That leg goes up there. And then this one's behind. That's the back there. Very confusing. I suppose I have to do it myself then. So in this case, if I have the center line of the chest coming around like this, I believe that's the most that I could get any turn going. Then this is around where the hips are. So the front leg will be here, and the back leg will be here. That sort of angle. But this leg is stepping forwards, so a bit of angle adjustment needs to be made. I'm drawing far too large again. Okay, and this leg will be mostly straight. But also if I draw that line there, far too wide. Okay. Perspective, perhaps. What is it? I think this leg should be higher up, starting higher. Let's see. When you walk, the hip that is lifting off is higher, I suppose. So yes, this line shouldn't curve down, it should curve up. The line of the hip. Alright. I'm too wide there. Very fortunately, though, the feet are on an exact side view, which means I'm not going to have very much difficulty in drawing them. I'm just going to represent them with basic feet for now. I know I'll have to fix all of the angles here as well, as these legs currently do not have any bones in them. Perhaps that's my true calling, is the Fleischmann rubber hose style of drawing. That's just about the right pose. The legs could stand to be a bit longer, for certain. But as it is, I feel like that's pretty close. Any critiques thus far, other than most of it? Pressing the wrong button to move the canvas around. Alright, I'm actually just going to so this, shrink it down a little bit. That's the hope, that I get better at this. I'd hate to stay bad. Are legs too long usually? Yes. Just want to make it small enough that it fits entirely inside. Or I could be sneaky and just not draw that hand. Suppose that's probably a bit too much. That arm may be too long anyways. Trim off an inch of it. But that looks around right. Cut myself off at the knees and just drag them down a little bit. Nothing wrong with long legs. I suppose that doesn't work in its entirety. This leg needs special direction. A bit further back. Alright. And also giving the legs bone would be nice. But other than that, I am Fairly satisfied with the pose, especially since I had to do a little bit of improvisation. Right then. Tail. So I did that backwards. In case you're curious about a detail of my tail, an upside down heart. Yeah, I know the knee is gone. There was never a knee to begin with. The knee has to, be created. I don't. Oh, that's all the body I have. No knees here. Just long, deflated tubes of leg. Right. I'm just going to go into the sketch and figure out where knees should go. Straighten the leg. Sort of like that. No, I don't think it should be quite that sharp. For this leg, I feel like the thigh is too narrow. It's hidden behind the leg. But still, it feels the gap is a bit too much between everything else. I have no knee. It's a tragedy. Alright, that's relatively okay. I've noticed that I use the word relatively far too often. I feel like I need to expand my vocabulary a bit more. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Legs are basically straight lines. So that's where the knee would be. Where I want leg to end, roundabout. Oh. Just do this. Get better positions for everything. Other thigh. You start thigh. Probably around here, I would think. I do this. That. There we go. Even though it's just straight lines, that looks marginally better, I suppose. Maybe the tail of my coat would come down and cover a portion of the... So... Not tailcoat, but I don't have a tailcoat, it's just the... I guess the draping portion of my jacket. Not entirely sure what that's called. I don't know if that makes me a failure as a butler or not. Or geometry, I think that's... The legs still look a bit short. Or maybe the arm is just too long. I think that might actually be what it is. Let's shrink this arm a little bit. That look any better? You know what? I am going to do some actual measurements, right? Cut that onto its own, like, temporary. I'll just undo all this once I'm done. Oh, okay. That's not what I meant to do. Let's see how long this arm is compared to the body. If it was going straight down, this is where... The arm should reach around mid-thigh, so that's actually around where it should go, it feels like. I think that shortening was in order. Alright, everything else seems to... And just shortening that arm down a bit did make the legs a bit better. Well, they probably could stand to be lengthened a little bit more. Oh, I think I just don't have the waist well defined enough. That's probably also a factor. So... waist should be... Because both of these legs simply extend straight into the torso, there's no pelvis on me here in this picture. There's the gap here, the waist here, but as for right now, my waist is here and the gap between my legs is here. So, that's also posing a bit of an issue. To fix that, though. Only I had a long, flowy tunic, the fool, I wouldn't have to worry about that. I'm not about to go dressing myself in the fool's clothes, because then I'd have to do that for everyone. And... all honesty, with my art quality, the only thing that's going to make people recognizable is their clothes. Okay. Torso here. I think... the waist should be here. I'm just going to pull my legs off. Drop them down a bit so that I can get the pelvis in. Not on the... oh. Because I still have a copy. And now I can just create a pelvis here. I believe that's what I need. Just a loop there. I think. But then the gap here is too high, I believe? Or the indent for the waist. How difficult. Who knew that copying a pose from a centuries-old piece of artwork would be difficult? that case, that's where it'll be? Okay. Time to start moving things around to find out what's on what layer. Alright, that's on the sketch layer. I thought I undid far enough to put sketch and sketch copy on the same layer, but apparently not. I'll just merge that to the layer below. Everything's on sketch now. Okay. That looks somewhat better, although... Gotta go? Yeah, that's fine. Enjoy whatever you're going to be doing with the rest of your day, Aqua. Whether that be work or anything else. I feel like probably the closest I've been to good, but also now the body itself is simply far too narrow. Perhaps it's just time to drag it out a little bit. Seems a bit better. Do I want... sure, I'll take some suggestions before you leave. Just pausing now so that I can receive instruction. Knee in the back should be higher. Okay. Noted. Let's see. It's the eraser. There it is. In the back, it's further away. Yes. Sense. Let's just compare the planes that the original Fool is standing on. Yeah. Far higher. That better, I suppose? Thank you for the tip, Aqua. Okay. Torso? There's a lot wrong with the torso, yes. Wow. Assuming it's something to do with this portion here, how the shoulder and the arm look odd. That'd only be a guess, though. The arm that has the pen needs to be hidden and shorter? Yes. That was about what I was thinking, because the body is here, I suppose, and then the shoulder goes like that. rest of that arm is hidden behind the torso. You know what I've just noticed right now? This bears striking resemblance to a certain pose that is an internet meme. Or if anyone else has noticed it. It has close association with the word oof. I am prolific at creating accidental meme artwork. That's fine. That's fine. I enjoy barrages of words. Oh. What is happening here? There you go. That was odd. For some reason, the button that normally scrolls the canvas started zooming in and out. Wonder what combination of actions caused that. Okay, but yeah, the arm is now hidden, knee is higher. I think I'm good to start going on to line work then. I didn't accidentally put anything on this layer yet, you right? No, okay. Good. So then, let's just get head shape. Like that. Going in detail. Let's get myself over. Directly compare faces. High detail. Okay, something else that I should probably do is reduce the size of this pen. Because I don't want my lines to be that thick. What's this? Size 3? Oh, it's on eraser. Still fairly thick. Go all the way down to 2. Yeah, so I don't want to be drawing in single pixels. Drop the opacity down of the sketch so that I can tell when I'm actually in front. Erase some of these line work lines that escaped my culling. Alright. Head. All right. Now. Let's see. I want slightly further out. The nose, I mean. That way it properly obscures the other side of the face so that I don't have to draw an eye. I think that's too far up. Noses shouldn't be very well defined in the anime adjacent art style. Mouth. I have no option but to draw a well-defined mouth because it is defining features. Double canine. Perhaps I'll do a bit more detailing on for the eye. Actually, where is it? I can open my eyes a bit wider than... I have them permanently fairly half-lidded. Going into the settings actually moves my body around a little bit, so I don't want to do that. How irritating. I was going to attempt to show you my eyes slightly wider open. Perhaps I'll post that on Twitter later when I have the freedom to mess around as I will. Fortunately, I suppose, because of the color of my sclera, you actually have to outline the entirety of the eye. Makes it very easy to define where the eye begins and we are. Center of my forehead. Have a slight widow's peak. Everything curves to the side. I wonder. There's probably some perspective trick to get my ear to look right, but stand. Have to be like that. I've also realized that I've been drawing on the loosest brush setting, which makes a bit of a pain for using the fill bucket. Now I can set it to ignore semi-transparent squares, but it's still a bit of a pain. Especially when I first started using this program, I was unaware of how to line of the hair. As for the shape of the head, feels like it's just not quite right. Let's get the horn. I think I should curve in here. Okay, if I remove the sketch, I look like a potato. I think it's because I've made the shape too smooth. Right here, I think I should actually cut up. It's maybe a bit too wide. You know what it is? Because the face sort of exists on its own plane, but the jawline, yes, the face is protruding from the neck. like this, I think. Neck. Like that. I think I should probably shrink down the neck, unless I'm going to look like a giraffe. Like this. I tend to soften my lines too much, I think. Need to allow myself to make harsher angles, even when drawing something organic like a body. Okay, what does it look like now without the sketch? Okay, like I said, sharper lines. This is a jaw. I have a fairly sharp jawline. No curving here. Looking the size of... accidentally made it small. Will make it easier for me to tell apart. Okay, so great lines. Come now, Barleon. You can do it. Maybe not. Erase a bit more of the chin. Okay, maybe that. That looks somewhat better. Suppose if I do this, the neck, is that what the body looks like? Just drawn the eyebrow for something to do. Eyebrow could be a bit thicker. Let's see, I believe this is the button that increases brush size. It is. Maybe a bit smaller. There we go. I said there we go, and I immediately undo. I feel like I'm trailing off too fast. Maybe I should change some pressure sensitivity settings once I am done with this stream. Looks about right. Now then, back to the main issue at hand, and I stop stalling. This neck and head shape. Oh yes, I should turn the brush size back down to 2. I think I'm being too constrained by the shape of the head. Let's see. I think more like that. Okay. Too high at the top, not wide enough at the back. Not quite satisfied with how that looks, I don't think. Could be worse. Okay. Perhaps the hairline could be cut in a bit more. Going to continue moving with small consequential details while I actually settle on something. It's not going to be perfect though, no matter how much I mess with it. Okay, I think I'd need to save the lines in the hair and the shaping for it once I get to coloring. Just looks so inaccurate, no matter what I do. Let me look at the hermit, or not the hermit, the fool. Ah, yes, it does have the chin line as well. Also, no ear. Where's your ear, buddy? Yes, hair shows past the head. Hair is bulky. Gets in the way. But my horn is doing that. But hair needs to also do that. I can't believe the Fool is the hardest card to draw. Okay. Let's have the bottom portion of the neck. In fact, I think just drop everything down a little bit. Okay. Now, shoulders. Okay. Can leave. Watching where it goes on the display in the top right. Okay. Need to be confident lying. Be drawing sketchy anymore. Once again, I'm going to stop before I reach the hand, because I'm not feeling drawing a hand. Alright, this portion of the body is difficult because it's defined by my clothes. I wonder, should I be drawing in clothes on this layer? I think I should. I think that's probably pretty relevant to this. Let's see, separation of the waistcoat will begin here. Down, around here. I suppose I have the location of it fairly accurate on the sketch. Okay. Back up. Stop at the top line of the chest. Drop it down. Alright. Clean up the line gap here as well. It comes up a little bit and divides early on. This is curved. Well, looks like I need a picture of myself back over here after all. See, I think I actually need to start drawing the inner layers of the clothing. Ah, I've done it again. Just going to undo it. Those lines were quite necessary enough that I don't feel bad redrawing them. They were all in the wrong layer, in case didn't catch that. There you go. Back onto the correct layer now. Okay, I think I need to do the interior clothes first, though. Button shirt goes here. The collar actually is around. Because this is where the Adam's apple is drawn into the picture, but perhaps I just don't do that for mine. Perhaps I just have a straight neck to no Adam's apple, which is very clearly how I produce a voice that sounds like this. This makes drawing a bit easier. Okay. Oh. I've forgotten to turn off the notification sounds on my phone. I normally remember that most streams, but I suppose today I just forgot. This center line. Nest. New center point to draw. Should reach the same point. Okay. Oh, drawing my clothes is like putting a puzzle together. Alright. Fortunately, use scissors to cut the puzzle pieces into shape. There you go. Bit of an offset here. I wonder if I should be drawing in the perfectly flat line instead of the slightly obscure ones. This should be much thinner because of perspective. It's further away, so that means lower down, I believe. Okay. Definitely not looking too bad. Let's see, the height of the collar is wrong on this side. I think that's about right. Doesn't look too far off. Once again, I don't know why I said once again. I actually had nothing to follow that up with. Bow ties are difficult. I don't know. Oh, this looks so good on mine. Oh. Too low as well. Alright, well. Time to do that all over again. So, do this a bit more focused. Side of the bow tie back. Right, I think I need to angle the centerpiece as well. Too angled though. Okay, that might be better. I'm wondering at this point whether or not I should color these. I was originally planning on it, but I don't know if that's going to be slightly too much work. Okay, no, the size is all wrong. Bow ties are very difficult to draw. Okay. Let me just draw one directly next to and in the same style. Same perspective. Direct reference. There we go. Looks decent. Too bad. It's a neat depth. There, that's a bow tie. Now, time to draw one on an angle. Get rid of that. I don't want it actually being there. So then, I use the surrounding line guide. I think I'm running into the same problem that I had the very first time I drew, which is that I am drawing too small of a surface area. I need more room. The pixels are too scrunched. see. Let's see. I suppose if it's facing away from me, should the base be visible? Yes, it should. Oh, you know what? I think if I were to curve these lines in opposite directions, like this, I noticed just now that the lines are slightly curved. So if I do it like that, there we go. That's looking a lot better. Somehow, some way. Maybe one day I'll be satisfied with this bow tie. I don't think today is going to be that day. Can't spend too long dwelling on this. I have to move on. Now I can actually get back to general lines of the body instead of fussing over tiny details. Fortunately, ever so slightly better at. Okay. Now then, down to the lower body goes. Ants line. Okay, and this is waist. Goes into the leg that is moving backward. No. It's too specific of a loop. I think I should draw no loop. Yes, no loop is definitely better. Loop in the original worked because of the size of the line, I believe. Oh, I drew those lines surprisingly straight freehand. Okay, so now if I get rid of the sketch. that is a bit better. Okay, something is wrong. What is wrong? I mess up. Okay. To do. Okay. Draw that in. That is the waistband. Drawstrings. Okay, do I complete the leg? No, I don't. That looks horrifying. Okay, this leg is stepping in front. This is a leg that is behind. I think once again my problem comes in with sloped lines. I think this should be slightly sharper. It may also be an issue where the pelvis doesn't look wide enough. Other than that, it's hard for me to tell. That's what I have so far. Oh. Oh, and I can't forget my rose. It's going to be a pain to draw, probably even more so than the bow tie. But for now, I think that's not too bad. Could obviously be far better. I think it's a good start. Let's see. I'll keep going for a little while longer yet. I think this thigh also needs to be a bit wider. Although it is in the background. Just give it a bit more to work with. It's a bit better, I suppose. Just close these lines that I accidentally opened. Close them properly so that they don't apparently look like they were closed artificially. Okay. Drawstring heat. Drawstring. I feel as though I've done enough to the point where it's difficult for me to know where to go next. See, the problem is I tend to put in most of my detail when I am coloring. I've still left the feet and hands blank. Suppose it's time to try and emulate what I see these hands doing on the Fool. So then, first things first, need that pole. That is a proper straight line, reaches from, say the hand is, actually, you know what, I have the hand on the sketch, so the point there, straight line back. That's fine. I'm actually going to create a new layer just for this pole. Now I can put that back there. Second point of pole here. Right back to there. Okay, so now if I head over to Eraser, back to line work, can get rid of the things that are behind it, and then erase the portions of the pole that are behind other things. Covers this port, then goes behind the... Okay, where does it start to go behind? Ah, I see the issue. I need to actually create a vanishing point that is on the neck. So, here. That way it can convincingly go behind. Oh. Need them to be perpendicular. That seems about right. Now, portions of the pole that are behind. This is probably one of my favorite aspects of drawing, is making something appear to be behind other things. Let's get rid of the sketch. Some of those lines are confusing things. There we are. Pole is properly okay. Now bringing back the sketch, and I can draw the hand. Right, and I think this hand is actually pretty fine. Fine the way it is. I'm actually moderately proud of that hand, looking at it now. figure out. Leave would be like that, I believe, based on the perspective. I draw a point there. Back to the pole. Pole's its own light. That. Need to pixel perfect. That line. Get rid of the extra. That pole is now continuing in a straight line. Perfect. Once again, I need to expand my lexicon a little bit. I can't keep saying perfect for everything. Once I'm satisfied with it. That's the middle finger. It should be longer. Okay. Now if I get rid of the... Oh no. Everything's on the wrong way. Alright. Suppose I'll just, erase my own artwork. Nobody tell the art police. I need to get this onto the right layer. Okay. Now, it's the pole that it's hidden behind. Oh, and also the thumb. Okay. And then what does that... Sketch? Not the best. Not my worst work, though. Okay, we're magically better at drawing. All right. Let's somewhat good, I suppose. And leave it be. I'm going to try and get this other hand in. That'll probably be where I call. There. Want to have that hand as close to where I'm drawing as possible so that I understand what is happening. It's going to be pure reference. Unfortunately, the resolution on this image is not quite high enough quality for me to actually figure out what these fingers are doing. I can see the thumb, but everything else is a bit of a blurry, uninterpretable mass. It looks like the fool is simply holding the flower with his thumb against his hand, and the other fingers are just held straight forwards. That is how I'm going to interpret this. Also makes it a lot easier to draw. Or it would be if I could even draw to begin with. There we go, fingers. Oh my goodness. Go away, you monstrosities. Alright. Let's just zoom in as close as possible. This is the index finger. Done. This is the pinky finger. Done. Okay. Looking at my own hand, this is just a flat hand. Just draw from image. Looking at my own hand. It is... Oh, this is the correct hand. Let's see. Which way is it facing that? That is the palm, yes. The palm of the left hand. Just gonna draw my own hand. Can't be that difficult, can it? So then, starting from the thumb, that is the line of where the fingers should begin. There will be three gaps in the center. Okay. Lines have to be aligned in the correct way. Okay. I think I should actually draw hands like this from now. Actually, is helping me a lot. To have the point where the finger starts. But it also doesn't help that that middle finger is thick as a sausage. Go. I think I may just have to reduce the size of the hand. The fingers as I am drawing them. Not want to reach the edge of the hand. Instead, I will make the edge of the hand reach the fingers. Okay, back to looking at my own hand. Get rid of the... There we go. Because hands have some lines on them. Okay. Maybe not that much, but I'll leave it as is. Pull back to your resting spot. I thought perhaps I might do the feet, but it is already around the time that I was planning on ending, and I don't think I could get them done in 2 minutes. So then, let's see, who is live right now? Anyone to raid? It looks like I'm just in time to raid Noor. Don't believe they're live yet, as it says they have 0 viewers, and normally Noor hovers around 15 to 20. Yes, they're on a starting soon. I suppose I could just raid them pre-stream starting. Perhaps wait a little while for the stream to actually start up proper, but other than that, I suppose I can talk some more. If there are any Vtubers in chat right now, as my numbers are reasonably higher than normal, feel free to, well, if my art skills haven't completely negated any desire to have ever be drawn by me, feel free to volunteer yourself for a tarot card. You can send me a direct message on Twitter or any other method you can find of contacting me. I wonder how long Noor rests on starting screen. Not normally very early to them. If it's going to be too much longer, I may just raid now. Oh yes, my viewer count has dropped a little bit, probably because I am stalling for a raid. Ah well. Numbers are numbers. Just start it now. Alright. Well then, I hope everyone who's still here has enjoyed their time with the art stream. I know I haven't made very much progress, especially considering that This took me a full 2 hours to do, but I hope it was enjoyable. Well then, as for me, I'm going to move over to the end screen, and then in a few seconds I will commence the raid. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you live your life well.